Good morning. Welcome to Conversations with Anasa. We're so happy to be here. Let's start with meditation. So take your attention inside, down below your belly button. And again, we'll encourage you to take all of your attention as though you have a funnel and you're just pulling all of the attention down below your belly button. So there's nothing left between your ears. And you breathe into the space between the breaths below the belly button, holding your attention there. And you feel what it feels like to be located in a different place in your body than between your ears. And it does require some efforting to get your attention lower in your body. And as you begin to feel it there, you can imagine yourself as the warrior Arjuna or Arjuness. With your weight evenly distributed on the balls of your feet. An athlete in your 20s. At the height of your physical prowess. All of your energy in your lower dantian, the space below your belly button. As you await in the field of competition. This is the experience of physical balance and the location of that experience. If you watch professional athletes, you will see their center of gravity is in this energy field below the belly button. They naturally do it. And this is what it is for an athlete to play through intuition. The body knows how to operate from this energetic field. And it's a certain stage of life for human beings to have their energy in this particular field. The reason we cultivate it is so that we have an opportunity for every kind of energetic balance within us. This is a good place to come back to because it is the center where physical health is quite accessible. When you're ready, drop your attention into the earth. we hold to this awareness of our union with Mother Earth. And the recognition that the way back to health for Mother Earth and humanity is through this connection, through honoring this connection. And in holding to this connection, we are part of a universal awareness. We have no idea how big that awareness is on our planet at this moment, because it is hidden by the mechanical forces. We honor it nonetheless, because we know that is where true power lies, regardless of appearances. Because we can feel through our sensitivity the source of the power of the earth. Gently, we allow our attention to rise. As we honor the space in our solar plexus, with our attention. And we allow our breath to release any holding in this space. To allow the energy free access above and below our diaphragm. And as we take in our breath, we feel the expansion. As we relax our effort, we just watch. Gently, our hearts open. And at your own pace, allow the upper chakras to open. as the fountain of our central channel bursts upward. In the endless spring of our energetic awareness. Allow yourself to be nourished by your own fullness. And when you're ready, holding to that inner experience, gently open your eyes and allow yourself to experience the physicality of our existence at the same time as we are immersed in the energetic experience. We welcome your questions. So happy to be with you this morning. How may we serve? We're delighted by your appearance. We see the energy. we're happy to take your questions. You can type them in, talk to us. We don't much mind. Yes.
So, our mom, the last few years of her life, she lived to be 102. So that it was not surprising that she had some dementia. And her two most important questions that she would ask is, where am I? And what am I supposed to be doing? And I had heard someone say the best answers to those questions were, where am I is here, right here. And what am I supposed to be doing was just be. And it's becoming more and more obvious that time in a body on this planet is limited, and there's more that is behind us than in front of us at this point. And the question about what am I supposed to be doing keeps coming up. And so I'm trying to look at the priorities, and what is most important to be doing right now.
Cultivating happiness, joy in the experience of being alive.
That's really good because it's not, I have a thing about work,
Most of us do.
yeah. What is the work I'm supposed to be doing? But what you were saying sounds more like not play so much as release and freedom.
Well, if you ask anybody what they really want, and you keep asking and asking and asking and asking and asking, the answer you come to is happiness. We all want to be happy. And it seems to be the most elusive of goals. Largely because we don't, at some point, just say, enough already, I'm going to be happy. And then if we understand that we aren't really happy in ourselves, well, second best thing is to make the person next to us happy. At least attempt to do that. And as they attempt to do that with us, if we're lucky enough to be in a partnership, then that whole thing can come to fruition. And if we don't have a partner, we can have a pet. Do that, make the pet happy. And we understand that in participating in happiness, we become happy. But it's an internal decision that we can make. And when we make that decision, then our meditation changes. We wake up in the morning, we check in with ourselves. And if we realize we're not happy, then we can look to see what's missing. Or we can hold our attention inside and cultivate the happiness, the joy, the simple joy of just taking a deep breath and feeling our capacity for life. Yet another day. Completely independent of any particular outcome. Because as we know at this age, all of us, outcomes come and go. And no matter how good they are, they don't last. And no matter how bad they are, they don't last. And because all of that is constantly changing, we can begin to make a commitment to our own happiness. Just holding to joy for a moment. If we get 1 moment a day, that's something. And then if we can get 2 moments, then we start to try to hold it between 1 moment and the next. And we build joy. And here's why. When we die, we want to rise up in joy. Simple as that. Is there a consequence to not doing that? In the big picture, no. But it gives us a purpose beyond we spend so much of our lives defining ourselves by what we're able to do. And by now, we all know that that doesn't make any difference at all in the big picture. And in a way, that's not true because there is some satisfaction in a job well done. But by now, most of that part is finished. Or at least we can see on the horizon. And so to reorganize our thought process, our goal-oriented selves, to the idea of happy no matter what, as a friend of mine said to me, don't forget the 3-letter word, fun.
Someone once asked, I guess it was a bunch of us, what do you do for fun? And I didn't have an answer. It's not that I don't enjoy lots of things, but fun seems to be of an order, a different thing. I'm not sure when or what it is, when I've experienced it or what it is exactly. Um, People said, "You were such a serious child." And it wasn't that I was glum, I was quiet and observing. But when the rest of the kids were having fun, what looked like fun, they were, squealing in delight and that sort of thing. I wasn't there. And like I say, I don't feel as though I was an unhappy child in any way or an unhappy adult. But fun, I don't understand fun, really, is what it is.
What about joy?
Joy, yes.
So let's go with what you know. We're not giving you a rocket science task. It's not something you don't know how to do. And so it's not a literary trick. The difference between joy and fun, it's just that each of us has different reference points for what those two things are. But in the final analysis, they're probably the same. And the reason we're saying this is because ultimate reality is that which is left when everything else is stopped. It's not the breath itself, but the space in between. That we tend to run past. And remember, we always say that if it's complicated, it's probably not spiritual. So all of our doing and huffing and puffing to experience there's this simple connection you can release yourself into, and you do regularly when you are with us. And we assume regularly when you're not with us as you continue to practice. And there's so much fulfillment in that experience of connection. And to label it fun or joy or, any label creates a limitation. Any description pulls it into language. And we each have it alone. And very often we discount it. Oh, that can't be it. That was too easy. And yet there's that which within us, which knows, which feels that experience and is completely fulfilled by it. And then we shift our attention and deny our fulfillment. We can stop doing that. We can experience the fulfillment and be completely filled by it. And instead of treating it like something we have to get, we can return to it endlessly. Simply by practicing every single day. And some days the happenings of life are so distracting they can't be ignored. But most of the time, we can take a deep breath. feel into Anasa. And there we are. Isn't that your experience? Andrew. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I thought you were talking to someone else right now. I'm sorry. One thing that I noticed was that there is a difference for me between fun and joy. And joy is, I experience joy often. And I've never called it fun. Fun seems to require something external that I'm interacting with, whereas joy is more of a receptive inner experience. And I am quite fortunate to experience that often.
So we would say that is one purpose of life. To cultivate that experience and share it as much as you can. This is how we improve the quality of life for the whole.
Not sure I understand how to share it. We are rather like hermits out here in the country. And
It
so,
has nothing to do with other people.
okay. Thank you.
Do you understand that, sharing joy is sharing with the multiverse? Because the context of life is beyond our capacity to imagine. The context of what we are really part of is beyond our capacity to imagine. We have a very limited bandwidth in which our senses operate as human beings. You notice animals have a totally different bandwidth. And in general, they spend zero time worrying about whether their bandwidth is big enough or small enough or refined enough or any of those things. That's what just being is. And yet just being is such an ephemeral concept that it loses its meaning. But joy, appreciation, gratitude, These feelings have power.
Joy seems to be already connected to the multiverse for me. I mean, that it is
And
the
this is the essence of ritual practice, really, is the cultivation of joy. Now, have we failed if we don't experience joy? We've only failed if we punish ourselves for not experiencing joy. There is no gain and loss in spirituality.
while we've been talking, I've been looking at happiness and joy. And happiness seems to be more of a cultivated attitude, whereas joy seems like a gift. Does that sound right somehow?
Well, you know, someone else could make the absolute reverse argument, and it would still be the same answer. What all of it is beyond language. Language is an attempt to fix something in place so that we can say, this experience is that. And ultimate reality cannot be fixed in time, space, any time, space continuum. What it is life itself. So it is dynamic and ever changing. Our real point is that it is our openness to experience the rising up of our own life energy that we are describing as joy. And in a way, it's very misleading to describe it that way because from another perspective, it feels like reverse gravity. You know, it doesn't exactly have a sensation to it. And we're not intentionally being confusing, but whatever way we try to wrap our mind around it, we have just limited it to something that compresses it into language. And so all our descriptors do that. And we continue to do it anyway because we don't have any way of communication that we trust with each other except language, which is of three-dimensional reality. So we could describe it as the rising of something beyond our former perception, which is unlimited. We can feel by its inherent arising that it the language just can't do it. And you understand as you experience with us that this experience morphs as it's happening, and that the allowing of our experience to unfold in whatever way it wants completely reorganizes us for the better, always. And so our greatest, we hate to use the word value, but we will, is to participate in that experience. Because in participating in that experience, we are making it more readily available. It's very hard to talk about quantum reality in 3D language. Because we're talking about unlimited potential. In a field where we try to tack everything down with language. And yet, without the attempt to use that language, we couldn't even have this program. So there we are. But we see you experiencing the joy of this exposure. And it's a great gift to be here with you, experiencing this. Yeah. Mm.
Thank you.
Mm. Mm. We welcome your questions. Brenda, anything? So we far prefer the idea that you think of yourself as having access to this experience and making regular contact with it, rather than feeling that it's something beyond you that you have yet to experience, which we do to ourselves partially to keep ourselves from having the responsibility of acknowledging the great gift we have received over and over of this awareness. And we can say that as you continue to cultivate it, it becomes more and more a more and more reliable source of your inner experience. Resource that you can draw on in any moment until it becomes such a habit that there is no longer any distance or separation. There never is, there never was, and there never will be any separation except in our minds. This awareness is a human birthright, not just human, all creatures. But humans are unique in their experience of denial of access. And also that those people who wish to control us want us to think that we are denied access so they can control us by making us think that if we do what they say, that we'll get access. Every religion at some point has been used in that way. Abused in that way. And it is true that at a certain stage, we can just be, and that is what our awareness is. But having not cultivated that awareness, then that capacity to just be is highly suspect. Because there's so many powers that would distract us from that capacity. But our real message is in the energetic experience that we cultivate together at the beginning and end of each program. And understand your participation is fundamental to that experience for the whole of us. Every human being that participates with us expands the awareness for the whole, because we all are an accumulation of a different set of frequencies. We could say we are all a unique combination of a different set of frequencies. And what we are cultivating between us as our experience is the combination of all those frequencies brought together in one time and place. Plus and also. We are a field of information, yet another field of gathered frequency. That has the capacity to gather and augment what happens here. How may we serve? Well, let's move into our meditation, since there doesn't seem to be a necessity for dialogue today. And we may end a little bit early. So we're going to begin to meditate again, and we'll do this one. We'll just make ourselves available with open eyes for a few minutes, and you're welcome to participate however you want. We will be broadcasting. We've so much enjoyed being with you today. It's a complete delight. And we want you to know that on Wednesday nights, we started doing a guided meditation. And it seems to be quite successful. So you might want to try joining us for that on Wednesdays at 7 if you're available. So thank you so much for participating. And we'll begin our meditation. Thank you so much for being here today. It's been a great pleasure and privilege to be with you. Bye for now.